Welcome to tonight. Welcome to Manic Monday. It is September 30th. It is almost Jewish New Year, and you know this is a Jewish show, so Chag Sameach, Shana Tova. I am hosting for Sunda today because she is in New York. I don't know if she's watching, but hey, Mom, please tell me if I'm doing good or not, child. If I'm not, you better let me know now because I'll get fired. Anywho, though, I'm just here to host, but I said I would make a quick, fun joke, and Patty's in the audience, and me and Patty, we can have a back and forth sometimes. But anywho, I live in England now, for the people who know, and we all know. But anywho, everybody and they mamas have these little vapes, and what are they called? Patty, what do you have in your hand?
It's a vape.
What's it called, that one? Is that an Elf bar?
See, this is one that was discontinued.
Discontinued?
Yeah, this is a closeout. I got this at Big Lots.
Well, all I was going to say is I see those all the time. And I was like, Patty can hang with one of the kids, and I would never notice the difference. If you came to the club in England and you pulled one of those out, I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess he goes to uni of somewhere. But anywho, that's my 1-2-step joke for tonight.
Hey, now.
And speaking of Patty, I'm going to bring him up on the stage, tell us a 1-2-step joke. So Patty, come up here, give us a little 1-2-step.
Patty. This is amazing. We are here this evening. What are you done?
Patty!
We need some fun. We need some. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like to thank each and every one of you very much. Thank you. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sprinkle a little bit of that. I was formerly an Elvis impersonator. That's true. For many years I was an Elvis impersonator. I actually, what's very funny is my mother loved Elvis Presley. She had a complete fixation with Elvis Presley. And, she died. She died. Either that or she hasn't been speaking to me for the last 18 months. Which, if you knew my mother, you wouldn't find that hard to believe. She had a borderline personality, which knew absolutely no fucking borders whatsoever. She used to say to me, she'd look at me, and I was a wee boy, I was a young boy. She'd say, Patty, I may be a schizophrenic, but at least I have each other. I loved my mother, don't get me wrong, but she did have this odd thing about Elvis. And by the way, when she was alive, she couldn't text. But once she had passed away and gone to heaven, I assume, she texted me. I got a text from her, and it said, there are no Elvis impersonators in heaven. If life was fair, all the Elvis impersonators would be dead and he'd still be alive. I was an Elvis impersonator. Do you understand what that means to me? But the oddest thing, too, my father fucking hates Elvis Presley, mostly because my mother loved Elvis Presley. But all women have a drawer. They have a drawer. It's adjacent to the bed in some area. And, after your mother passes away, you have to go through her stuff. And my mother had a Elvis Presley vibrator.
Wow.
I'm just telling you, it's the truth. It was an Elvis Presley vibrator, kind of like a regular vibrator, but it had sideburns. And it had 2 speeds, Jailhouse Rock and Love Me Tender. That's it. That's the whole thing. When people see this, when they drink this in, they think one thing lately. How does he feel about Diddy? What are Patty's thoughts on Diddy?
That's what I was thinking.
Once again, yes. And here are my thoughts with Diddy. There's a certain admiration I have for Diddy, and I'm going to hold on. First of all, how do I feel about Diddy? I think he did it. OJ might not have done it, but Diddy did something. When I read of these freak-offs, first of all, I love when a federal prosecutor has to use the term freak-off 8 times in 3 paragraphs. There's something juicy and delicious about that. But also the fact that they had liquid IVs up, and these were days-long freak-offs. He's 54. I got to give it to him. Me, I'm shooting pool with a rope. It's look, 'tis the season for once again seasonal pancakes and pumpkin spice Cialis. My wife said it out today earlier. I need a little help. But days upon days of freak-offs. This man has a fucking appetite. Here's what also, when I think of it, I think out loud. Here's what I think. They ought to, when you buy a pair of leather pants, they ought to give you a license with it that has to be renewed every 7 years. Because Lenny Kravitz and Puffy Combs Lenny Kravitz is old enough to collect Social Security. At some point, put the leather pants away. Somebody take Madonna's fishnet stockings away. Give her some support hose, something. It's a little frightening, just remind her she's 73, running around. I don't know what to tell you. I will tell you this. I don't think Diddy is alone with his freak-offs, though, because the powerful, there's some initiation, there's some type of give and take within. Could you imagine like a Waffle House version of freak-offs? But not Diddy, it's Blake Shelton. And they have just all kinds of syrup and freaky mullets. They're freaky much, and they're having these fucking greasy fucking hillbilly orgies that break out into fist fights. You like it? And like 80% of the participants are first cousins. Oh. Just something a little different, I'm mad. I'm upset. But the other thing is like Eric Adams, once again, not the brightest light, not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Eric Adams, it's come out now that he's taken cheap bribes, basically airline tickets from the Turks, who nobody likes. Nobody cares for the Turks. That's why they have to bribe people, because nobody really cares for them. The Greeks don't like them. Ask the Armenians, they're not fond of them either. But do you know, literally 5 weeks ago, that's the guy who doesn't realize how stand-up comedy works. He's going to narrate for us. He thinks it's an actual debate. He was fact-checking me. And I felt a lot like Trump, where I was ganged up on. Stephen Muir, or whatever her name is. You're more good-looking than that guy, though, Mark. I like it. Mark is in great shape for someone who's completely let himself go. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense whatsoever? And the glow, the skin, the youthful glow. I'm not saying it's firm. I'm just saying it's, the youthful glow of it. But here's the thing. Mayor Adams, literally 3 or 4 weeks ago, said Diddy was a bad example and he wanted the key to the city back. What? Because they had given Diddy the key to the city. He said, I want the key to the city back, which I don't know if this key fits anything, or I think it's made of chocolate. But Diddy actually gave the key back. And what happened is, when he gave the key back, the Laponi, who are the Native American people of that part of New York State, immediately called Mayor Adams an Indian giver and demanded the return of Manhattan, which is only fair, because Diddy fucked a lot of people, right? He fucked a lot of people, but the Laponi, the Native Americans, live at half the poverty rate. Who's really gotten fucked? My point is, who's really gotten fucked in this equation? But Diddy fucked and beat the shit out of a lot of stuff, right? He got power, and what did he do? He fucked and he beat the shit out of things, right? Well, men have been doing that since the beginning of time. That's what powerful men do. They fuck and they beat the shit out of things just to prove their power, They eat it, fuck it, or wear it. That's pretty much it. That's their, oh, gee whiz, I got the light already. Was that 8 minutes? Gee whiz, time flies when you've got a great crowd like this. Time just flies. It goes by. But what I'm trying to tell you is, we are puppets. We are all puppets. This is all a puppet show. You like the thing with the R in front of it. He likes the thing with the D in front of it. It's all the same shit. And the politicians, they're not really the puppet masters. They might pull a string or two, but the puppet masters, it's nobody here. They might let us operate the cash registers for them. But I'm going to tell you who's behind all this, and get ready for this. It's the Swiss. The fucking Swiss. You know what I'm talking about, too. These Swiss are a social and moral construct. The Swiss aren't real. The Swiss are passive-aggressive German mathematicians that they smuggled up there to keep track of the plundered wealth of war criminals and the fucking Illuminati. Example, the Swiss Army knife. What the fuck is this? Have you seen a Swiss? That's not a military-grade weapon. And the Swiss are always fucking neutral, right? They don't take sides. They just take all the fucking wealth, right? Have you ever seen a Swiss Army knife? Yeah. Give it up for Aaron. Isn't that good looking? Aaron is appearing in my new adult film, Captain Crunch's Secret Booty. Wow. Captain Crunch's Secret Booty. It's guest starring Count Chocula and a bisexual Tony the Tiger. I want to say something because I did use the name Count Chocula, and my granddaughter told me that was offensive to African-American vampires. But I want to point something out. Count Chocula was not actually African-American. He was a polyamorous Romanian voiceover actor. But I digress. Let me get back to the fucking Swiss Army knife, you bastards. Yeah. Swiss Army knife? Have you looked at one of these things? First of all, if someone was charging you, by the time you found an actual blade, you'd be dead. It has a toothpick, it has a corkscrew, and it has a mustache comb. Now that might be useful for an Armenian girl going on a picnic. But in battle, it ain't all that good. This is, you guys, I want you to get a piece of this. I want you to come up here and get a piece of what's going on here. I want you to get a slice of this, you know what I mean? This has been mediocre. Mediocre. But that's okay. I mean, there's a lot of love in this room. Give it up for the love in this room. I want to tell you, it's been fantastic, fantastic being here. I want to leave with this. I want to leave with this because I want to leave you guys with, do you know the difference between Alzheimer's and amnesia? Between the difference about
Alzheimer's and amnesia.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've been Patty. You've been fantastic. Patty, P-A-D-D-Y-F-O-R-C-O-M-E-D-Y. Now, I want you guys to have, and I'm going to use a term here that is, it's metaphoric, but I want you guys to have fucking mutual orgasms all over the room for your hostess with the mostest. Give it up for Tova. Come on. Tova Zaffron, give it up.
Oh, my God, you cracked me up. Hey. So much was happening. You cracked me up. I thought
Tova Zaffron.
I thought they were going to hug. You know what, Patty? You cracked me up. I did not know you could sing. That's a special skill that's going to have to come back out, so I don't think I'm going to leave you with that. Oh. One thing I do have to laugh about, though, is the second you mentioned Count Chocula, you looked at the one black person in the room, you went, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to make sure you're okay with it. I got those eyes. You went, here's the thing about Count Chocula, okay? Don't give me that little...
You're kind of Meghan Markle.
Wow. Okay, Patty. And you're kind of Lucky Charms Irish, okay?
Oh, thank you.
So don't get on me.
I'm magically delicious.
You know what? I love that. That's very true. Very cute. Very cutesy, very demure, very mindful. And T-Ho, taking it away from Gen Z. Let's give it up for Aaron.
Yay! More applause. More. Thank you all you in the back. Hi, my name is Aaron McIntyre, and it's not Aaron, it's Aaron. So it's not E-R-I-N, which would be Aaron, and it's not don't say Aaron, don't say Aaron, because that's supposed to be anonymous. It's A-E-R-O-N, so Aaron. So think of aeronautics, which is actually kind of that's where the name came from. It actually means comfy lawn chair in Swedish. So I headed over to IKEA to buy one, because what are you gonna do? If you saw there is a Tova, there you got to get one, right? If there was something named after you, you would go and buy it. And that's what I did, and I can't put the fucking thing together. Got to go on TaskRabbit and get some guy to come out and put it together for me. I can't handle that. let's see here. So it's AERON. So I'm thinking about just doing A period E period Ron. Then I'd kind of like be like L. Ron Hubbard, but not quite like that. A little bit different, but it'd be AERON. I thought that'd be cool. I grew up in Panama City, Florida. No, I didn't grow up there. No, I was born there. I lived there for 6 days, 6 whole days, but that's the place that I identify as my home, even though I've never been back before. And the reason is because I grew up with aeronautics, that kind of plays in. It's kind of a play on words. Aeronautics. My dad was in the Air Force. And that's spelled A-I-R, not A-E-R. It's not Air Force. It's Air Force. So we moved around a lot. So I was going from place to place, and so I identify with the Panama City, Florida, even though I've never been back and I don't know what it looks like. But I had to find some place to kind of, anchor myself, and there was no other place because every 2 years you're moving. Oh, let's go to the other side of the planet. Okay, now let's go to the other side of the planet. Really good for childhood development, moving every 2 years. Just as soon as you start making friends, let's move. Yeah. Okay, so now I got to make new friends. So I kind of got in this habit of, each time, because I have a confession. I am a big pussy. Okay, I'm a big pussy. I don't know any more pussiers. There's no one more pussy than me. I don't like pain, and I don't like pain. Like, even the thought of hitting someone, it makes me cringe. I can't take it. I've been in 3 fights. I've only been punched 3 times. So that's a good sign, right? You think I was a badass? No, it was because the first fight was with a girl. I was 8. She kept bugging me. She was pushing, coming up, going, "Hey, man, come on." And then she punched me. And it was just automatic. I did boom, and I punched her back. And the gum flew out of her mouth, and she said, "You locked my tooth out." And then everyone clamored around, so that fight was over. So 1 punch, and the fight was over. I think I won, because I knocked the gum out of her mouth. She didn't knock anything out of my mouth. So second fight was a guy came up to me and said that he had to kick my ass to prove to everyone in town that he could kick my ass. So I said, "Well, you can kick my ass. I know that. You don't have to prove to everyone. I'll tell everybody." And he goes, "Yeah, tell my brother." So I went over and told his brother, and his brother said, "I know." And I went back and said, "I told your brother." And he said, "I still got to kick your ass." So that was another one. He punched me in the mouth. I just dropped. And I just laid there, because I'm a very passive person. I don't believe in violence. No one has ever. I don't understand it. No one has ever said anything to me that I would want to risk hurting my hand to defend. I mean, you could say anything. Lenny Bruce. What did Lenny Bruce say? They're just words. They're just words. Nobody can say anything. And don't say anything, okay? Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Nobody can say anything that would piss me off that much. So I just don't do it. I don't know where I'm going with this. But I did want to talk about you remember how, like, as soon as Trump took office back in 17, right? As soon as that happened, fucking 2 hurricanes, one right after the other, came through the South, fucking wiped everything out, right? So now we got another election going on, and we got this great hurricane coming through. And you know what I think? I kind of came up with a solution of this whole thing. I think we should just make the whole South a big water park, Big water park where there's nothing but slides and pools and shit like that. And we could have an Everglades part, where you go and you'd slop down and some crocodiles will come out, and come after you and shit. And it'd be like an Adventureland. But you'd probably have to make it underground, so to be an underground water park, the whole South. I think we'd bring in a lot of money. I think we'd make a lot of kids happy. And that's what I'm all about, is making the kids happy. We want to make the kids as happy as we can make them. was a little disappointed. I'm glad you walked in because I was a little disappointed there weren't more black people in here. Because I really don't trust you white people.
Wait, don't forget me, please. Hey,
Oh, hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, why don't you guys catch up? Catch up. Catch up. No, I am. I'm disappointed that there's not more black people because I always feel very judged by white people. Very judged. Every time, they look at me, I just feel like that judgment. And I feel like black people, you've already convicted me. So I am white. I am angry. I am old. And I am bald. Amen. All of those things you can say to me, and I won't get upset because I know that I'm very self-actualized. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very, very happy with who I am and what I've become. Yeah, because, I think that being convicted is a whole lot better than being judged. Because convicted, you already know. It's over, right? Judge, there's still that pending, like, are they going to like me? Are they not going to like me? Are they going to say something? Are they not going to say something? And with conviction, it's like get in your fucking cell, dude. And, you go where you're going to go. Or in cell. Oh, I just came up with that. That's good, right? So I'm just going to sit behind my computer all day and, get out of everybody's way. So because of that, I've come up with kind of a plan. I've got a code of ethics, we'll call it. So my code of ethics is, one, I don't ever give any money to homeless white people. No homeless white people will get any of my money, okay? Or anyone who has a pet. Homeless, you see the homeless people out there with their pets? They don't need fucking money. They got food right in front of them, right? I mean, just take that little puppy and crisp it up. Just crisp that baby up. A little kitty kebabs. You can make little kitty kebabs, or what would it be? Doggy dolma? No. Anyway, I'll work that out later. But yeah, I mean, good, right? Am I right? Yeah, Haitian burrito. Well, I was getting to that, but thank you though. Yeah, I was getting to that. I do give money to Haitians who have pets.
Not for long.
Because I don't want them to eat their pets. No, but I do date homeless women. So, I'm giving back to the community. You know what I'm saying? Giving back. I do that because with homeless women, you can drop them off anywhere in their home, right? It's like, oh, you want to ride home? Sure. Open the door, get out, and you're home. That's all I got for tonight. Jesus. A couple of things to work on. But, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring up our fabulous hostess again. But thank you very much for all your attention. Give it up. My name is Aaron McIntyre. Oh, we do have classes. I got to tell about that. So we got a class coming up December 8th. It's a Sunday. And at 4:30, we're going to have any young adults from 10 to 17 come in from 4:30 to 6:30. And then at 7 o'clock, we're going to bring in the adults. So we're going to have an adult class. This is free. We're going to probably have some little snacks and stuff just to keep you, sated and hydrated. We'll make sure you're sated and hydrated when you come. So that's it. It's going to be, December 8th, Sunday, 4:30, 7. The freak off will start right after the adult class. So it'll be like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Then we'll start the freak off, and we'll bring out all of the, kitty kebabs for you to eat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kachova.
Oh my gosh, the way this world has been turning, flipping. Oh my gosh. I know we're going to be hearing these freak off jokes for a long time, so I'm going to keep them here. I'm going to have to hold them close to heart and take a giggle at them every now and then. Oh gosh. Well, anywho, I could make a 1-2-step joke. What was your name, if you don't mind me asking?
Jazzy.
Hi, Jazzy. I'm Suitan's daughter. Well, let's not do this on stage, but I'll chat with you after. Hi, it's nice to see you. Jazzy's here. Look at me keeping attendance on here. Well, as long as I'm up here, let me do 2 minutes. I'll do 2 minutes. I'll do 3 minutes. I'll do 5. Okay. Anywho. Well, I don't even know what to talk about. Well, you know what? What am I talking about? Let me talk to y'all about my weekend. Y'all want to hear a weekend that, Lord have mercy, and Sunda Lynn Kronquist, I do hope you're watching. And if you're not watching, I hope somebody who does know this story is watching. Anywho, so my Friday, no, not even my Friday. Let's start off on my Thursday. My Thursday, I go to the chiropractor for the first time. Look at me. I feel so like TikTok, Instagram. I'm like, I'm gonna get my back, y'all, nice and fit. And she puts me on this machine and like, it helps your lower back go up and down, up and down. I was like, okay, like I feel it like loosening. I'm like, look at me getting better, healthy. Second I try to stand up, I cannot stand. I can't walk. I was like, wow, this is like, I would never wish that on my worst enemy. And so like now, like as someone who is 21, about to turn 22, like I get, like when people say like, oh, my back hurts and they can't get up, I'm like, okay, y'all, like, come on, like, let's get up. No, I get it. When you say you cannot get up, you are not moving. And I was really like, oh, and you know, you try to laugh it off because I was like, I'm scared as shit. And then for a minute, I was like, oh no, is she nervous? Because I was hoping she was confident about it. I was like, this is normal, right? Like, I'm gonna come back. I'm a dancer. I'm an actor. I got a show to do. Like, I can't be walking in like, hey, y'all, how we doing? So that was my Thursday. So she told me to come back Friday. That's when I knew shit was bad in the back. So I leave acting like, oh, it's like, oh, my back. Oh, anywho, come back Friday. Everything's better. I was being dramatic because I'm a baby. I come back Friday, well, it's fine. I go out with my sister and my best friend, and we have a fun night out, and we had the loveliest time. Now, I forget this one bit. After the chiropractor, and my dad came with us to the chiropractor, we went to this restaurant. I'm going to call them out right here, right now. We went to this restaurant called the Broxton in Westwood. I'll tell you by the end of this story, you're not going to want to go there. But we went there, had a little bit of lunchy. We went, and then my sister wanted to go to some flea market. I was like, girl, my stomach kind of hurt, but hey, let's go anyway. So my stomach was hurting, My stomach sometimes just does hurt. Like, y'all, I'm figuring it out, okay? We are figuring it out. I'm young. My stomach's going to hurt every now and then. Who cares? Anywho, stomach was hurting, felt better. Went out with my friend and my sister. We all have a good night. Night starts to end. You know, nights can go one way or the other when you get to the end of it. And our night started to tip the other way. We're driving home, and my sister starts to feel a bit sick. So, you know, she starts to be a little sick out the window. And I was like, oh, girl, like, drinking all this, like, alcohol made her sick. I was like, I hope she feels better in the morning. But, like, it didn't really, like, and then she got home, and she was fine. So I was like, oh, it's just that time. Me and my friend Fletcher go, oh, let me not expose us. But me and my friend, we go to bed. And then all of a sudden he says to me, he's like, do you hear that? Like, she's throwing up again. I was like, oh, so this is really getting deep. So we go there, she's throwing up again. I was like, okay, alcohol poisoning, whatever. I go to tell my mom about it, and she's like, oh, your dad's having a bit of a stomach ache. Mind you, love my dad. He's always also having a stomach ache. I swear that man has a stomach ache every 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, what's fucking new? So I was like, okay, he's having a stomach ache, whatever. All of a sudden he says, I gotta go to the bathroom. I said, what's new? So I stood there, I was about to chat with my mom, and then I hear him throwing up. I went, oh shit! Oh, this is real! I said, Suna, you gotta wake up! And she said, why? I said, Dad's throwing up. She was like, no, you need to take care of him. I said, I can't. She's like, why not? I said, because Aviva's throwing up. This is straight out of fucking sitcom, y'all. We shoot out these beds. We're on 2 different sides of the apartment. Long story short, that was my Friday, Saturday. So I haven't slept in 3-4 days. That's okay, y'all, though, because sleep is for the young. No, wait. Sleep is for later. I'll sleep at some point, okay? But for right now, I'm awake, I'm tired, I'm running on fumes, and it's Rosh Hashanah this week. It's time for me to release my sins anyway, so that's my story time for the week. Anywho. Jazzy, do you want to come up and do 10 minutes?
Oh, sure.
Well, Jazzy, let's have you get over here. Come on. Yeah. It's so nice to meet you, by the way. Oh, come on, give me
Hey, guys. So do you. What are you wearing?
I don't remember. I won't lie, it's my mom's. I'll tell her.
I'm going to talk to Sunda. So, I also don't know what to talk about, but I'm trying to break the mold of being a perfectionist. I will write material and I will work it, and I will work it until it is no longer fresh. It is stale and funny. which is, I guess, still great in a sense. So I'm working on just coming up and talking about what happens. Did you say your stomach?
No, anytime somebody has liquids on stage, I get nervous.
Oh, do you want it off stage? Copy.
I got you.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt your flow.
I gotta respect house rules. Thank you. So, I've been thinking about knowledge. There's so many phrases around it, right? Knowledge is power. The more you know. What is the Adam and Eve story? She bit the apple, she got the knowledge. Now when we have babies, ouch. And I was thinking, as I do, knowledge. It seems like every single time I know something or I learn something, some shit goes down. Like last night, I learned about balance inside yourself. Like you can't be too masculine or too feminine. You gotta kind of balance it. And then I woke up this morning to an email that I lost my job. And I was like, I'm learning some shit. Shit is getting fucked up. And it's one of many jobs. I'm in LA, and don't like it's okay, guys. This has happened. It's a brand ambassador job. And I used to be a brand ambassador for a weed company, and I didn't smoke. And I was telling these people, like, this is the good stuff. Like, get this. It's like, it's so smooth. And they're like, oh, have you tried it? And I was like, oh, yeah, I've tried it all the time. So that job, it wasn't even so much that, like, I was not fired. I promise you, I was not fired. I wasn't let go, okay? They shut down the whole program. It was worse than that. We were all let go. They were like, no more brand ambassadors. And I was like, is this a role like dissolving from society? Do brands need ambassadors? Or are we on like Instagram and TikTok now? Or I don't know. So I'd be in stores doing that. And this one shifted to pet food, organic pet food. And the weed company I was at was organic weed. So like there's a theme of organics. So we stick with that. And so the email was like, I'm so sorry to say, after years, and I've been with this brand for 2 months, after years of this program, like we have to shut it down. Like we can no longer supply this division. And I was like, what? Okay. What are the odds? What is the timing? And then I got a text from my last brand ambassador job. They're like, oh, we're throwing a grand party. Like, we're calling all the old brand ambassadors if you want to come down. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, so you used to give me money. Now you don't. And you want to invite me to a party? I'm coming. And so I'm just looking forward to this puppy party that's coming up from this. Oh, they haven't made it. I'm believing that there's going to be a party for this one later too. That's the only way it works. And then I was thinking, I went to like, I like to call them my drug dealer. They're on like every corner, and over time they've dominated. And I love to keep the green straw in my mouth when times are hard. Starbies. I call it the devil's fuel. All the thoughts start coming, all the knowledge, and everything else starts breaking down the next day. But I know, the more I grow, I think. I don't know what's happening, y'all. This is my third one today, and I'm like surprisingly super calm, or I'm just like so jittery that I can't jitter anymore. I'm not sure which it is, but my mind, it's like going, and I'm like, you gotta slow down, breathe, do the thoughts, contrast. I don't know. So there's that. And now I have a whole bunch of dog food, organic dog food in my car. And they're like, go ahead and keep it and give it to your dog. And I work for this dog company and I don't have a dog. I'm like, what is it about me being in places that I don't belong? Like pushing product to like I know. I don't know. That's where I'm at today. And then I have a show tomorrow. It's my first 20-minute set. I think the longest that I've done before is like 10 minutes. And I could have done like maybe 15, give or take. And I'm excited. It's at a Baja Fresh. Like, okay, yeah, I thought that too. I was like, wait, there's space? Like, what? Is it in between the to-go orders? Like they're calling your numbers? It's not that. It's like a restaurant bar grill thing. It's a nice sports bar. I've never been. I looked at Google. Google told me. I saw the pictures. I was like, I've seen all I need to know. I know. That phrase, I love that phrase. I know.
Need to know.
The more you know.
The more you know. You got to do the rainbow. Yeah, the more you know. Which is like follow the reading rainbow. Right? That's what it makes me think of. And what happened to him? Did he read too many books? Does he know too much? That's another thing. What is it about knowledge that's like about war? I had to take him out. He knew too much. Do I need to not know things? Do we need to unlearn? I don't know. I'm having all these questions, and I'm going to have the answers later tonight when I'm in bed at 3 a.m., 5 a.m. I don't know. And then I have a show for a birthday party, but kids are going to be present, right? And I'm like, there's a lot of jokes I can't tell, like about parts, and if they ask, I don't know. That one's going to be a doozy. Sunda told me to tell the kids that I may look like I'm 12, but I'm 13. And I was like, she had me dying the other night. I was like, that's so good. What else? What else to talk about? You know what? Actually, when you were talking about dating homeless people, it made me think about when I went to the gas station. There was this lady, she was so friendly. She came in, she's like, honey, what are you doing tonight? I think it was like a Friday night, and I was like, oh, nothing, like I'm going to work. And she's like, oh, all of us are having a street party, so bring your mattress. She was homeless. I was like, they go wild. Like, you can just throw that mattress anywhere, you're home. Like, dang, okay. I almost wanted to donate a sleeping bag. Like, you know what? You deserve this. Go live it up. Stomach problems. I'm so sorry. How are you feeling now?
I'm not bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, just bottom. It's like, you know, when it comes and goes, I just be like, all right, that's the day.
You're a trooper.
Listen.
I respect it.
It's the life we live. 2
minutes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is the life we live. Every time I get sick, I feel like I'm no longer going to live life. Like, I feel like it's over. I'm in the toilet. I'm like, ah!
It is that moment.
You say, what?
Oh, no, no, not for me, but like, there is that moment.
There is that moment.
Today's the day.
Yeah. Is this the rest of my life? I don't know. I feel so calm. It almost feels like a TED Talk of lack of knowledge. I don't know. Here are some things that I wonder that I don't have the answers to. Did I miss your set, Patty? Oh, I'm sorry. What did you talk about?
The Swiss and P. Diddy.
Together? Did he go there too?
And Elvis.
I know.
And
And he could sing.
Patty, you sing?
I do sing.
There's like nothing you can't do.
Well, if you ask my wife, there's a couple things.
Okay. I won't talk to her then. And Mark, you already went too? Yeah. Oh, good. Good. You always share some stuff that makes me think a little bit more. And then I'm like, do I know? Yeah. Daddy's like, the more you know. Is it 2 minutes? Is it times? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me at Jazzy Ayala on the platforms.
Is that Baja Fresh on Wilshire and K-Town?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Okay.
Wait, Wilshire and K-Town? I think I actually know that one too. Is it by a Korean barbecue?
Yeah, well, anything, we're in K-Town.
Yeah, Bulgogi Hut. Y'all know me there.
But you know where the boiling crab is?
Yes.
It's a little bit east on the side,
A boiling crab.
just past the old ambassador.
Shall we make a commercial?
Well, listen. Maybe they should sponsor us. That'd be fun. That was so funny because you are just like me. Like, I'll be having thoughts throughout the day, and I'm like, but I don't know. And that's the thought for today. And, like, that's okay. Like, sometimes the more you know and the more you don't know. It's a two-handed rainbow. But anywho.
The reverse TED Talk.
Now.
I have no answers, only questions.
I have no answers, only questions. That's a good TED Talk. I actually was kind of like, I'd be down to watch that. Like, I have no answers, only questions. Patty.
They're good ones.
Tell me when the sky's blue.
I blame the Swiss.
See, Game of Thrones says it's because we live in the eye of a blue-eyed giant. That'd be interesting, you know what I mean? But anywho, you want to go up?
I might as well.
There you go.
Wow.
Anywho,
Give it up for...
give it up for Mr. Mark Zaffran.
Oh,
Give it up for me for raising such talented kids. You know, you get up here, you don't know what you want to talk about. There's so much to say. So little time. We could talk about John Kerry, but we could talk about Bulgogi Hut. So here I was, father growing up, and you know about birthday parties for your kids? How you start with these massive, stupid, giant birthday parties, and you bring in animals and trainers and the snake lady and the photographers. There's the first couple of years. Then you gradually, change the tone of the birthday party, until they get a little older, especially with girls. When they got into high school, one birthday party I had to make with Tova involved trucking all her kids down by limo. Yep. To Bulgogi Hut.
No?
Yes.
No.
They all got there by themselves? What's that? That was a different party.
That was that.
Well, there was a party where I was stuck at Bulgogi Hut paying the bill, which was one of Tova's birthday parties. Here's the thing about Korean barbecue in Los Angeles. It's tolerable in New York. In Los Angeles, what makes it completely intolerable is the 70 TV screens, each with a different K-pop band on it. Do you know what it's like to sit there trying to eat your friggin' Korean barbecue, which you really don't like as much as your kids, and all of a sudden has anybody ever seen the movie, oh dear, forget it. If I can't remember the name of the spaceship, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but there was a thing in there in a future world where we moved out to the stars where John Kerry was God. Now, why was John Kerry God? Because all information was totally controlled by the government, and they used to do it through the signal in something called the Odie bar. And it was a mixed Chinese-American culture, which indicates, of course, some people believe there's going to be a Chinese-American culture of some sort like that. People speaking Chinese, people speaking this. Serenity was the name of the movie. And they have these, everywhere you look, there are these giant screens with the Odie bar on it. Three little animes dancing around, but the government continually controls everything. I watched some of the most disgusting video recently of John Kerry telling us how he has to censor all the information coming out so they can pound out their message. And I'm thinking to myself, there's a man who's been wrong on every issue since he lied about his Vietnam service. Mr. Swiftboat is a traitor. Mr. Swiftboat, when he gave information to the Iranians because he wanted that deal. Do you know what John Kerry left the American people with? The Paris Accords, the Iranian peace treaty, and of course his legacy of lying. It's amazing the people that we have advanced in this country. None of that, of course, has to do with Bulgogi Hut. But when you think about Korean barbecue and, of course, what happened to me this weekend with my food poisoning, I think of John Kerry. I mean, look, I worked hard my whole life. What is it that was attractive about that big, tall drink of white water? All right? That he married one of the richest women in America. And then uses her plane to go to climate conferences and says, well, you know, I pay my climate tax. You're still fucking up the environment. You know, I mean, this is the serious and the sadness of society today. We have leaders, whomever they may be, whichever party they may be, whose motto is what's good for me and what's not good for you. They don't care. Whether it's John Kerry flying or Joe Biden taking a nap during a horrific storm in Georgia because they don't vote for him. Or whether it's Kamala Harris freeing criminals in San Francisco and saying, I was strong on criminals. They're all full of it. We're approaching one of the worst parts of at my age. I am cursed to live in interesting times. It's sad. I thought I was going to have a nice, quiet segue, into heaven. But now I'm going to have to spend the next 10 years with wars, pestilence, and a possible nuclear war. What am I, it'll save on burial costs at my age, if you think about it, I mean, just kind of like turn me into ash. It's not a Jewish burial, but it'll be, memorable. But it's coming, But I'll give you all fair warning. You're going to see some crazy things in the next week or so. All right? You're going to see some crazy stuff. And you know what you're going to hear? Nonsense. On that note, because I really had nothing to say other than about Bulgogi Hut. Though Patty mentioned a couple of things that, kind of triggered me. Not too badly. I mean, they were triggering, little remembrances of things past. You kind of forget it when you come up here and you say and you do your own speech. But on that note, I've had enough to say tonight, and I will leave you with this: do not go to the Broxton. It was the truffle fries. That's the part she didn't tell you about it. We all had. Everybody's trying to figure out what's wrong with everybody in the house. And I get up at 3 a.m, and first thing that happens is Tova comes in complaining. She didn't know that Aviva was really sick. She thought she was just being tetchy. And then I hear my wife complaining that something else is going on. And the next thing I know, she organized to get out of my way. I'm running into the bathroom because, what food poisoning does to you. It's both ends. It was rough. It was Friday night running all the way through Saturday. When I woke up finally on Sunday morning, I had a little bit of toast and tea. That was about it. Of course, later Tova dragged me out for a real meal. And on that note, good night, everybody. This is the LA School of Comedy. I'm going to have Tova come up here and announce Aaron's workshops. Make sure we did. We adopted it. Aaron's workshops. We'll even give a shout out to Patty, where he, takes people away on Wednesday nights somewhere in Pasadena. The Bulgogi Hut in Pasadena. Baja Fresh. Yeah. I know where that place is. Baja Fresh on Wilshire Boulevard. All right.
You're gonna take yourself down from there.
I'm going to step down. I've been giving. You know why she's getting me off the stage? She hungry.
No. I'm getting you off the stage because my mom told me so, but don't tell him that. Anyway, that was really funny, Dad, actually. And you know what, Dad?
Yes.
All I'm going to say is I love you, and you're looking really good. So don't be talking about no 10 years. That shit scares me. I don't like that. Got at least 30 on you. Can you believe this man's going to be 70 in November? Sorry, I'm not going to call him out, but I got to. Because he doesn't look a day over 50.
Not on National Less Than TV.
National Less Than TV. On that note, y'all, good night to my Jewish viewers. Chag Sameach, Shana Tova, and hope y'all all have a great rest of your Monday and the rest of your week.